Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a major update for you guys here today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, as you guys know, FS1 Fox Sports just recently fired a bevy of front-facing talent. They got rid of Emmanuel Acho, who, funny enough, I was just watching today on a segment of Cam Newton's show, and I think Emmanuel is launching a new show, I think with LaShawn McCoy, where it's kind of like a post-game live show of NFL games. Now, it's not the first time we've seen this because Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson kind of do something similar. They go live after major games. They do it at the NBA, they do it at the NFL, but they're going to be doing that. So that's what he has going on. Joy Taylor recently did a sit down with Cam Newton herself as well. She gave her thoughts about what it was like being let go from FS1. She spoke about Jason Whitlock and a bunch of things. And of course, the other people that they got let go of, like Keyshawn Johnson, Paul Pierce, the Carlton Show, and a bunch of others, right? So a lot of us were kind of speculating on who FS1 was going to fill out their roster with. Now we know that they've extended. First things first, they're making it a longer show right now, so they have that going on over there, but we don't know who some of the talent are. We've mentioned names like Max Kellerman. We've heard of a few other people out there that I can't remember right now off the tip of my fingers. But anyway, I was going through the internet yesterday, and I came across a report from Awful Announcing, and it had the following statement saying, "The Outkick show with Clay Travis coming soon to FS1." And I was like, wait a minute. What? Clay Travis is going to be going to FS1? Folks, this is the news that we want to report today. But before we even get into what this report had to say, today's video is brought to you by sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60+ states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm really looking forward to watching some of these NBA Summer League games. Here's what I like to do. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into what this article says here. It says Clay Travis's role with Fox has evolved in various directions since he was initially hired in 2014. According to Travis, the evolution will continue to form a new show on FS1. He says, we're going to have a new show, a new FS1 show, the Outkick show. This is going to start on FS1 in a couple of weeks, and it will almost exclusively focus on college football and the NFL. He said on Friday's episode of his Outkick show, the podcast, I probably shouldn't have said that. I'm not supposed to break news, but anyway, that's coming in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be pretty cool. Obviously, I've done FS1 for a long time, but just for your information, so you get a little preview of something that may or may not make news a couple weeks still. While FS1 has not officially commented on the show, Awful Announcing has learned that it will air for 30 minutes once a week, typically at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and will be produced by Outkick. This follows the network's approach of bringing select Fox digital shows to FS1, similar to Bear Bets and the Joel Klatt Show. Then continues on. Travis previously hosted a sports gambling show on FS1 and has also made an appearance on Big Noon Kickoff, although his role has evolved over the years. Fox bought Travis's Outkick in 2021 and since incorporated it into Fox News coverage. Travis also makes regular appearances on Fox News as a contributor and has interviewed President Donald Trump. And then it says a few other things. It says, while the arrival of Dave Portnoy on BNK seemed to signal that Travis's presence on the college football show might be limited or discontinued, on an August press release stated that he will make special appearances on Big Noon Kickoff from some of the biggest games in the South. And then the article then goes on to say a few other things there. So this is the news, right? Clay Travis is now going to be making appearances on FS1. I have a lot of thoughts about this. Let's first of all get to the part where they said he sold his company to Fox. That's true, because I remember reading about this a number of years ago, and the figure was for, I believe, $100 million. Right, so he built a successful company. I believe Clay Travis also used to work at ESPN. So it seems like people that work at ESPN and move on, some of them end up doing great things. Bill Simmons ended up coming up with The Ringer. I think that was also worth $100 million plus or something like that. So these guys have gone on to build successful businesses for themselves. Now, what does this mean for FS1? Well, if you know anything about Clay, and the article alluded to this, he does make appearances on Fox News. I've also seen him on some segments, or rather some panels, on the Piers Morgan show. Clay is a conservative guy, right? He's a conservative guy. Now, we shouldn't be too surprised, because this is still Fox, and Fox is a conservative network for the most part. So that shouldn't shock anyone. The fact that, however, that we're going to hear like a conservative voice in sports seems to be a departure from what we usually get. Usually from sports media in general, right? Sports media in general seems to be more progressive, more liberal. The people that hold these key positions seem to have a liberal outlook, progressive outlook on things. So to see them kind of pivot in this direction may signal, a change in what they may be looking for moving into the future. Who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe they're going after different audience demographic. Maybe they feel like the sentiment and people have changed. Who knows? Right? Who knows? But he's definitely, Clay doesn't hide his conservative leanings. He's always upfront about it. I've watched some of his shows where he's reacted to various things that have been going on in the zeitgeist of sports. So that's who he is, right? And obviously, they're saying he's only going to be there once a week, so it's not like as if he's going to be there every single day. But it does make you wonder, well, what new direction is Fox going in, right? Because I brought up names like Max Kellerman. Well, Max Kellerman seems to be a guy that's more left of the aisle, right? If you listen to him and a lot of the things that he said during his time on ESPN First Take, that seems to be Max. So does this mean that a guy like Max can't be on there? I don't know. I remember when they used to have the show, not Speak for Yourself. I think Speak for Yourself. Speak for Yourself. When they had on Jason Whitlock, they had on Marcellus Wiley, certain segments they had on Chris Broussard, and they had some spirited debates on there, especially around the time like when I think LeBron's gate was vandalized or something like that, and they were talking about it, and it had a political undertone. That episode, I remember it, right? It was a highly contentious episode. Chris Broussard was going at it with Jason Whitlock and all of that. Is Fox looking to go back to that style of show? That was a good show, right? That was a good show. I guess we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. But this is the news here. Obviously, there are going to be more people to fill out these slots, and we have to wait and see how things evolve over time. We're just here to give you guys an update. You guys let me know what you think about this move, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.